Hello everybody, it's Brian for GadgetUnit.com, and today it's time for episode 39 of my question and answer series. Now I'm still pretty much recovering from a little illness that I've been having over the past couple of weeks that I still kind of have, so my voice won't sound the same as it normally does, but basically I've been coughing a lot. It's been slowly repairing itself. Yesterday I was only able to go maybe 5 seconds before having to cough, but today it's extended quite a bit, so hopefully I could get this video done. But here we are at the bottom with Corollo's iHelp 101. How long have you been on YouTube? I've been on YouTube since October of 2009. For all of the channels that I've had, I've probably gained in accumulation about 12,500 subscribers, over 10 million video views, so I definitely know what it takes to make a YouTube channel. From the brand Tech, he's basically talking about how to add custom thumbnails, but the issue I still have is that I verified my account and I do have monetization enabled, but I still don't have any options for a custom thumbnail. It's not really a concern of mine though, because it doesn't really interest me too much. But in regards to your channel name, it's a little bit confusing. I mean, you have Tech in it, but what does the brand mean? So I like the avatar though, it's simple and it's, it just works. From Don Don the Teen, what do you like and dislike about college? Well, I'm still not 100% sure. I'm almost finished with college actually, but at least where I go to, there aren't really many organizations that I'm even interested in, so that's a little lame, but I guess what I like is that I have a lot of time for pretty much anything I need to do, studying, internet stuff. I don't have a job right now, and I don't really need one because my scholarship pays for my tuition and everything, so I don't have to worry about that. But basically, if I got a job, it would just be to make a little bit of extra money, which isn't really a concern because I don't spend money on anything. I don't need anything that I don't already have. So, from Swizz Kills, what do you look like? If you are really concerned about what I look like, you could go back to the Tech Errors channel and go to the CES interview that I did with the Touchfire people. And next up comes from Live Tech Australia. Thoughts on the PlayStation 4? Longest keynote ever, which it was. That was over 2 hours of absolute nothing. Sony didn't unveil practically anything about the PlayStation 4 other than it has upgraded graphics, which was an obvious, feature. We don't know what the PS4 looks like. We don't know what it's going to cost, but we do know that it will be available in holiday of 2013. But we should be seeing a lot more of the PS4 at PAX East, E3, and a number of other events. From Samsung Reviewer, do you think that rooting your Android phone is worth it? It really depends on the type of phone that it is. So for a Galaxy S3, for example, I wouldn't really have to do that, other than to remove some of the stock apps that AT&T likes to preload on all other phones because they're stupid. But, I mean, some phones have custom Android skins that are really bad, like HTC's interface. LG's new Android phones have a pretty bad interface, so I would most likely have to install a custom ROM, something that's as stock as possible, that's just very clean. From Sid Harthner, I know that this is a kiddie question, but did you ever watch Pokemon? I did, back in the day. Pretty much everybody my age in the entire country or entire world was into Pokemon. From Don Don the Teen, also because Sony just announced the PS4 today, should I just get a PS3 now or just wait until the PS4 comes out? Well, I would wait until the PlayStation 4 comes out because probably the PS3 prices will drop a little bit, so that will always be better if you could use the savings for games or accessories. Unless you need gaming right now, and you don't have a gaming PC, which are always better in every possible way, then getting a PS3 would probably be okay. So it just depends on if you want to game now or not. From Jared71, which is a better choice in terms of everyday usage, the 11-inch MacBook Air with the 64GB SSD with Parallels for Windows, or the Asus ZenBook? In my opinion, 11 inches for a display is a bit too small, so I would go with the slight step-up model, the 13-inch, and 64 gigs for a solid-state storage is just way too little. You would need at least 128 gig if you plan on using macOS 10 like you need to for downloading videos and different files and everything, because with 64 gigs you have macOS 10 and Windows, both of which are not small operating systems, so it would just make sense to get 128 gigs now, because if you get the 64 gig one now, then probably down the line you'll wish you had the 128 gig model. But in terms of the Asus ZenBook, it really just depends on which computer ecosystem you want to get yourself into. But at least with the MacBook Air, you'll be able to run macOS 10 and Windows with very little modifications. Unlike the Asus ZenBook, where you'll have to go through the process of Hackintoshing it, which may not be easy depending on how well the hardware is compatible with macOS 10. So, just figure out which OS you want to get yourself into the most, get at least 128 gigs of storage, and you should have a decision. From Computer Kid 1, what do you think about the world ending? Did a part of you think it would ever happen? No. I don't know why it would end. There's no evidence that would lead anybody to think so. From FRXKR02, what do you want to see in iOS 7? Something I've been wanting for a very long time. Some of you guys may remember me wanting this, but that would be crossfading for audio playback. So iTunes, it has crossfading built into it, so towards the end of a song it'll smoothly fade between the end of that song and the beginning of the next song. So for whatever reason, iOS does not do this. There are App Store apps that are able to do this, but they just don't do very well of a job at it. So that's the only thing I care about. I mean, I have a jailbreak, so that takes care of everything else. From the brand Tech, what do you think about the Tech Era not being used because I haven't seen any new videos on it? It doesn't bother me too much because it's not my channel or website anymore, so it's not of any concern of mine, nor should it be. But the new owner, supposedly, will be making videos eventually, so it'll be interesting to see how those are. From I Like Corn 500, I subbed you a few days ago and I was wondering whether you prefer Mac or PC. I generally prefer Windows because it's just a better all-around operating system. It's better for gaming, it's better for productivity, at least in my opinion, because Microsoft Office for Windows is much better than the macOS 10 version, but I like both platforms. I like all platforms actually. That's what's nice about being exposed to technology. You just have to go at it with an open mind, and there's just so much good technology on all platforms nowadays. So I do have a Mac and a gaming PC. Also, what do you think about Windows 8 on either a desktop, laptop, or tablet? Well, right now I'm using Windows 8 on my desktop right now to do this video. I think it's fine on a desktop once you install Start 8 from StarDock. So that basically adds the Start menu to Windows 8, which is a necessity. Same goes for a laptop. As long as you have Start 8, I think you are fine. If you have a touchscreen, it sort of decreases the reasons to need Start 8. Ultimately, obviously, it's best for a tablet. I mean, it's good for everything. As long as you have Start 8, Windows 8 is a fine operating system. It easily replaces Windows 7 for me. I've also been Hackintoshing for several years, so I would consider myself a pro at Hackintoshing. I could Hackintosh pretty much anything you could think of very well, and I just enjoy doing that. From Christopher James Gray, do you think that the next iPhone, presumably the 5S, will be announced at the next Apple keynote? I think it's a bit too early for that, considering the iPhone 5 just came out 6 months ago, so lately they've been putting out new phones sort of in the fall time season, so that will probably be when the iPhone 5S will be announced. iOS 7 I think will be announced way earlier, probably in March when they talk about the next iPad. Finally, any idea on when the next keynote may be? Probably March. That's typically when they've been doing their iPad events. Yes, they put out the iPad 4 not too long ago, but we don't know if they're going to be transitioning to the fall time period for iPad releases as well, or stick to the March one that they've been doing for all previous iPads. Lastly, from Anzonix, that's not a question. And that's it with this video, and I'm glad it's over because I've been having to take many pauses for coughs. Cannot wait until this is gone so I can start making videos like I should be, but my commitment for the Q&A series has been long-standing. I haven't missed an episode each week yet, so that is it. If you have any questions that you would like me to answer, leave those down below in the comments area. But that's it with this video. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you all maybe tomorrow with a What's on my iPhone 5 video. And that's it.